What's up, YouTube? We are back. I'm here at the house. Just got done with Smith Lake, getting some things together for table rock, tackle tinkering, you know, typical fisherman stuff. And something that's been really a big topic here lately for me is knot tying and some new knots that I've learned here recently. Of course, being the FG knot. You know, there's been a lot of talk about the FG knot. You know, I heard a lot about it for years, and I never really, to be honest, took time out to learn the knot, to even give the knot a shot, just because it looked complicated, it looked frustrating, and I just didn't want to deal with it. So for years and years and years, I tied an Albright or an Alberto knot. Depending on who you talk to and how many wraps you do, you'll hear different terminologies. And I know a lot of you guys tie Unity. Uni's a real popular one. A blood knot's a real popular one. And then, of course, the Alberto. These are all real popular knots. A lot of people have had success with all of these knots. And I'm not knocking any of them. I'm just putting my little 2 cents in to give you guys a different perspective. But at the end of the day, when it comes down to knots, very, 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 very key element to what we do. And confidence is everything in what we do as fishermen. And to be honest with you, I tied up my Albright knot, and I was staying with Jacob Wheeler and Adrian Avina at this last tournament at Lake Chickamauga, actually, when we stayed at Jacob's house. And Adrian kept breaking my knot with his hands. And I'm like, okay. And then he done it like 3 times, and I'm like, all right, now tie your FG and then let me compare. And I'm going to be honest with you guys. I couldn't break the knot, and neither could he. And this is on 8-pound fluorocarbon, Seaguar Tatsu. And so it really, you know, convinced me that I need to at least give this knot a try, give it a shot. And man, it's a frustrating knot. And it took me time and time again trying and practicing it to learn the knot. To be honest, just like I do a lot of things, and you guys probably do the same thing, I went to YouTube and I found a guy on YouTube. I think his channel is called Salt Strong. And I watched his video, very informative video. I learned a lot, very short and easy. And I was like, I'm gonna give this knot a shot. It took me about 2 hours. I'll be honest. I had to redo it so many times. It took me about 2 hours until I actually got it. And once I got the knot and I was able to understand the knot, how to tie the knot, I feel though it is a superior knot, definitely to the Albright. I've never tied a Unity and I've never tied a blood knot, but it is certainly a thinner, smaller diameter knot. Absolutely, for certain, in my opinion, a stronger knot. And it's the knot that I'll be tying from here on out, period. I know a lot of people are, you know, they question the length of time and out on the boat and rocking and waves. And I'll be honest with you, I haven't had an issue with that. I've tied it up several times out on the lake as well, and I've done just fine with it. And so, again, it's like anything else in fishing that we do. It's a personal preference deal, but it is now my preference. I got a few items here today. I got some Seaguar Tatsu, which is my favorite leader material that I use. This 8-pound test. And then I have on my rod down here, I have the new Smackdown Flash Green in 15-pound. This is my 100% of the time setup when it comes to finesse fishing. I'm either throwing 6, 8, or 10-pound Tatsu fluorocarbon. The braided line never changes. It's always Seaguar Smackdown braid in 15-pound test. Some guys like 20, some guys like 10. I like 15. That's my go-to setup on every single one of my finesse setups. And so I'm going to jump into it and show you guys how I tie the FG knot. I know there's thousands of videos out there on it, but I found it to be quite simple. Once you put a little bit of time into it, a little repetition, I found it to be very simple knot to tie and extremely durable, easy to cast. I haven't been getting any wind knots, any hang-ups in my guides. It's the bomb. You know what I mean? I think it's the best knot out there when it comes to tying leader materials. All right, so here's my setup, as I spoke about previously. This is a Bass Pro Shop 3000 series Johnny Morris Signature Series Platinum Reel. As you can see, this is a 15-pound Seaguar high vis braided line, flash green. And this is a favorite medium heavy 7.2 jackhammer, my go-to spinning setup. All right, so now we got both our lines. We're ready to tie this knot. Okay, the easiest way that I've found to start this knot off, there's 2 different ways you can do it. I prefer to do the braided line in your mouth. It's just easier for me. So I'm gonna go ahead and put the braid in my mouth. And you have to keep this main line relatively tight. It doesn't have to be super tight, but relatively tight. So about how I have it right now is good. I've just laid my rod down on the ground, got it nice and taut. So your fluorocarbon, I'm gonna lay it right on top of the braid. And I'm gonna give myself about 6 or so inches, 5 to 6 inches to tie with. Okay. This is what you need to remember about this knot. Okay? It's a sequence. 1 away, 1 towards you. 1 away from you, 1 towards you. Okay? If you keep up with that sequence, you'll tie the knot perfectly. Okay? I'm gonna do this 25 times. Some guys like 25, some guys like 20, some guys may even like 30. I like 25 turns. And so we're gonna count this out at the same time. And as we start doing these 1 away, 1 towards us, you'll start seeing the knot build. So here we go. 1 away, 1 towards me. 1 away, 1 towards me. Okay? Now, I'm going to stop briefly because you want to make sure the fluorocarbon in this hand stays relatively tight as well. And you can already see that knot starting to build. So again, it's important to keep the fluorocarbon relatively tight in this left hand. Okay, then we're going to continue our sequence. We got 4, so that's 5, 6, 7, 8. Keeping this line tight. 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. Now it's time for probably the most important part of this knot, and these are the half hitches as they're called. Basically insurance to keep this knot from unwinding. Now the video that I watched from the guy with Salt Strong did a very, very good demonstration of how to tie the FG knot. What I've been doing since watching his video, he recommended tying a total of 4 half hitches. 2 on top of the fluorocarbon and then 2 just on top of the braided line. I've increased that to 5. And it's just a personal preference thing. I think the more half hitches that you use, the least likely that knot is to come from to unwobble. And I haven't had any of these come undone, by the way, by using 5. So here we go. These are the half hitches. You're simply going to take the line and just do an overhand knot. And you're going to go over the braid and the fluorocarbon. Okay? Not just the braided line. So there's 1 half hitch right there. And again, I like to use my mouth just because I can get really aggressive and tight. And I'm just going to lock that down 1 time like that. Then we're going to do it again. Lock that down 2 times. Then we're going to do it again. Lock that down 3 times. Then we're going to do it again. Lock that down 4 times. And 1 more time for 5 times. And notice both times, or all 5 times, I'm going over the fluorocarbon and the braided line. Okay? That's 5 half hitches on top of the braided line and the fluorocarbon line. So now I'm going to cut my tag in on my fluorocarbon. I'm going to cut it right off. You can cut this very, very, very close too. Just like so. Okay? Now, to finish this knot, I'm going to tie 5 more half hitches on just top of the braid. So here we go. 1. 2. 3. Again, I use my mouth sometimes just to get a little more forceful with it. 4. And 1 more. 5. Nice and tight. We're gonna closely cut our tag in, like so. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is an ultra small, ultra thin FG knot. Now I'm gonna try to break this right here on camera for you guys. And that's 8-pound line, and that's 15-pound braided line. And I'm gonna try my best to break this. Like, I'm gonna really try to break this. I'm not gonna mess around with that. I'm gonna really try to break it, okay? And that's everything I can give it right there. Oh, without absolutely cutting myself. As you can see, I got whelps all on me. I can't break this, okay? I cannot break this knot. And you can see how thin that knot is. It's gonna come through the guides great. It casts very well. And it's just my new favorite knot. And from here on out, this is the knot that I will have tied on my spinning applications or even my bait casting applications if I ever decide to put on some 20-pound fluoro and flip with 50-pound braid or something like that, which I may not ever do. But if I do, it'll certainly be with an FG knot. So hopefully this helps somebody. Again, there's many other videos out there on YouTube. The one I watched to learn this knot was by a guy called Salt Strong. You guys might want to check that out. I'll put the link in my description box as well. But man, that is one heck of a knot. It is extremely strong, and I absolutely love it. And that is the knot that I'll be tying from here on out. So thank you guys for watching. I appreciate all the comments. Again, this came out of the comment section, so drop me a comment. Let me know what you guys might want to see in the future, and we'll do our best to get it up on the channel for you guys. Take it easy.